Alright guys, so right now I'm going to show you how to make a hole cutting tool. A lot of our tutorials we're cutting out round holes, putting in lazy Susan bearings, or maybe mounting our hookahs, or there's all these things that we do, battery ports, things like that. And one of the hardest things to do is cut a perfect hole. They make some tools like big hole cutting bits, or they make drywall, circle, like expandable things, but nothing really good for what we're doing. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to make our own, and it's going to be awesome. Okay guys, so we're getting started now. The first step we need to do is mark our anchor point on this. This is going to be the point at which our yardstick is going to pivot while we cut these holes. So like I said, the first thing we need to do is make this anchor point. What we're going to do is come to the 1 inch mark from either end. It doesn't matter, they're just reversed. And then we're going to measure it. So we've got an exactly 4 inch span here. So at a 2 inch mark, excuse me, not a 4 inch, it's 2 inch span, so exactly the 1 inch mark is going to be center right there. Alright, so there's our center point. What we're going to do is we're going to drill a small hole there. Also, I never do it, but wear safety goggles. Okay, also wear shoes. Okay, don't do flip-flops. And have a qualified assistant, not Chops, the guy who's smoking while he records this. Alright, so super easy. And what you can see now, if I take one of these nails, I've got a really nice pivot point. Okay, next step, we need to measure out every inch. I don't even need to measure because the measurements are already done for us. But what we're going to do, we're going to cut slits 1 inch into our bracket. Okay, maybe even 3/4 if you want to go that far, which is going to guide our jigsaw later. This is actually a kit for a jigsaw, I didn't mention that. So, what I would do if I were you is think about what size hole you're probably going to be using, or holes, plural, and then figure out that diameter and then the radius. So if you're doing a 6 inch hole, you need a 3 inch radius. So if I'm starting at the 1, that means we're going to go to the 4 inch, and I'm going to go every inch on this thing, like that. So this will give me, so if it's 4, it's 3, so 6 inches, 8 inches, 10 inches, 12 inches, and on. So it's giving me 2 inch increments because it's a half distance on the radius, which is what we're measuring right now. If you wanted to, you could go every ½ inch, but I think what you're going to find is that your yardstick is going to start to frazzle and fall apart. And we don't need, I don't think we need that accurate of holes. Most of the time you're going to be like a 6 inch, 8 inch, or a 10 inch on your hookah bases, depending on the brand and the size. So this is what we're going to do. The next step is we're going to cut through our yardstick at least halfway, if not 3/4. What I would recommend is going, if you're coming from this edge, start to where the next measurements start. It's going to make it a little more flimsy, but the idea is when you're using your jigsaw, you've got a big firm base, which we're going to use with adhesive. You want more adhesive to help hold it in place. So we're going to cut down our yardstick. Okay, so what we've done, you can see here we've cut several notches out in our yardstick, and I decided to cut the end of it off just to make it a little more workable, probably more like what you're going to do. And you'll see I didn't make the cleanest of cuts here. I did actually use my reciprocating saw. It bounced a little bit on me even though I was using my vise. Doesn't matter though, this is still going to work great. It's going to get the job done. So what you're going to see now, we've got our guide hole here, and we can take our little nails. So take one of these bad boys. I hate my workbench, so I'm going to go ahead and pound right into it. I'm not worried about it. The idea is, let's say we're going to cut a circle here. I could take it, pound it into the center of my surface, like that. That's all you need. Then, take your jigsaw, and a little bit of this carpet tape. We're going to take a little bit of the tape, our carpeting tape, cut this off. Thanks, Chops, for your crazy knife. That scares me. I don't know how to put that away, so we'll put that there for now. Take your tape, peel one side. Okay. And we're going to place it Probably should have cut another center slot for it. I don't know if this is really going to matter that much, but now the tape is going to go onto our jig saw. This is really good tape, by the way. This stuff is great. It's going to go right there. And then when we're ready for it, we're just going to tape this on to our guide, clearing, even a little bit of clearing right there so you're not hitting this with your jig blade. And then, and there you go, perfect circle cutter, okay, or close to perfect. This is how we cut a good circle on a fixed surface like the tables we work on, okay? So there you go, guys. Hopefully you found that helpful. When you see me using this later, you'll know how I made it. Thanks.